situation with his foreigners the other day, man. But it is what it is. I guess there ain't no way to control. There ain't no way you could be a gatekeeper on this, man. The influx of technology, letting people from overseas figure that they could become brokers now. And then when you have so much people over there doing cheap labor, and then you could pay people to make cold calls, then some of these companies they actually yeah, you can make cold calls and get some shippers and stuff, and then when the brokers, the brokers that have the big umbrellas in the industry, like the Landstars and all that, when you come to the table with a book of business, of course you appear a little bit attractive to them. So now they're gonna put you on, right? As long as they can make 3 or 4% off of you, they don't care. They don't care what you make, right? Um, yeah, I need my camera adjusted over here. My stand got a little crooked. So anyway, this morning, man, what just prompted me to the reason why I do certain things the way I do it, man. Like first of all, remember I said in a couple of my episodes, man, if the load is heavy, then the rate got to be heavy, right? Oh, first of all, shout out to my New York Knicks and stuff. Yeah, Knicks fans come out the closet, because we've been in a drought for so long. We just suppressed, right? But right now, my New York Knicks is in the Eastern Conference Final. So I had this. You see, look, this is a brand new hat. It's brand new wearing, but I had this been up in my closet. Bought a couple of fitted hats at the time, man. I had this every bit of like 3-4 years up there in my hat collection. But anyway, my Knicks is in the finals, the Eastern Conference Final anyway. So shout out to them, man. Hopefully they could make it they could cross that step. So my Lakers didn't make it, my Warriors didn't make it. I'm a big Lakers fan as well. Steph Curry and the Warriors, you know what I mean? And of course, New York has always been my faithful. I go back to New York Knicks way back in the days of Bernard King, Sparrow, or even, you know, Houston. Starks was my man, Anthony Mason, and all that, right? Just give you a little bit of sports background on me, man. That's why I'm not no fly-by-night Knicks fan. I've always been a Knicks fan, right? But anyway, so this morning, man, I sent one of my drivers over to the trailer repair shop. Um, Whatever prompted me to go over there, the functionality of the sliding of the tandems, right? So my tandems wasn't sliding. Come to find out, and Rich, another mechanic, I replaced some cross members a couple weeks ago in this one particular trailer. And now, wait a minute, man. I'm still trying to find me some loads, man. And it actually goes hand in hand with what I'm about to talk about, man. This heavy loads, man. This heavy loads that are killing your trailers and stuff, right? So they're gonna short you on the revenue on the front end. You pick up the heavy loads for them, the brokers or shippers, whoever it may be, right? So this is where your money got to be heavy on both sides. If the load is heavy, then your rate got to be heavy. For those of you who are out there who don't understand that, now I'm gonna break it down to you like this. I'm gonna try to be short with it. You pick up a heavy load for a cheap rate, you're losing money, right? Because heavy loads, cheap rate, higher fuel prices. I mean, the fuel price is already there, but I'm saying fuel mileage, you get very low fuel mileage. So in turn, it costs you the cost of fuel, the cost of your expense. Now you're gonna pick up that heavy load. That heavy load constituting damages to your trailer, right? So now you're losing money on that side. Those are the things that some of y'all, so my dispatch got me a load and 44,000 pounds and 43,000 pounds, and right, I could gross out that. I could gross up to 75, whatever, I can gross up to 80,000. I do drive, man, so I don't be maxing my trailers out, no way. You know what I mean? The heavy, I particularly look for light loads, man, and the reason being is light loads cost less damage to your trailer. It decreases your costs. You're already fighting the broker for a decent rate. So now you're gonna lose money on the front end, lose money on your fuel costs, your fuel mileage, your wear and tear with the heavy loads, and what you're not seeing now, it's just like unforeseen damages, but the damage is gonna come. Just like you a smoker, you're gonna get, you smoke enough, you're gonna get lung cancer, or you're gonna shorten your life. So on down the road, right? So sometimes it's not on down the road. It all depends how smoke can affect you. So there's a common sense approach to this, man. You can't be pulling no heavy loads for some cheap ass freight. Now you got to go in the cross members. For those of you who are familiar with, you got the trailer, you got the floor, but what holds up the floor from end to end? You got cross members, and when you pick up a heavy load, the flow now starts to bow, right? But the reason why it's bowing, because the cross members, the pieces of steel from end to end of that trailer starts to bow, right? So it goes down. So now the wood that's normally attached to it, you pressing the wood down, or you pressing the wood through the cross member. The cross members are starting to bow. Eventually, the wood is going to separate because the wood is designed to go straight across. Now your cross members is going to bow. So now you got to replace the cross members, and the cross members that you got to replace, sometimes it's going to mess up your flooring. So again, man, don't be pulling heavy loads for cheap rates, man, because you're actually taking on a lot more damages than you actually seeing. So you got to know the common sense about your business, man. And as I'm dispatching my trucks right here, I just got one of my trucks got empty. I just got another load for them, going from Jonesboro, Georgia, going to Bessemer, Alabama. You see, this is how you got to be able to make your money. You see, rate chasing and stuff is not a good thing in dispatch. Consistent lanes, right? So I run my trucks within a certain radius of where I'm at, right? So bing bong, ping pong effect. Punch it over here, bounce it back, load it from here to there, load it from there to here, right? So now you got consistency with your terrain. You got consistent with your fuel prices. Those are the things that you can't, that you want. Consistency in the areas where broker's going to bounce your loads back, and they're going to call you. Hey, man, how often, do you have trucks in this area, right? And of course, now stuff. This is where you got to come in at. This is where you got to sell yourself, right? So yeah, you got to sell yourself to know that, to let them know, hey, I have trucks in this area all the time. Like my trucks is going, to a particular city, whether it's Birmingham, the Spartanburgs and whatnot, whatever. I have brokers call me and send me emails before my trucks even get posted that it's going to be out there. So now I get to look at my future loads, and then I'm like, okay, boom, I'm going to have a load. I'm going to have a truck over there at such and such a date. I'm like, yo, send me that one. Send me this one. So it shortens my workload. It creates consistency. And I'm not pulling no heavy freight, right? Don't fall for this shit that happened the other day. The broker tried to give me a load going to that's another video. That's the false posting video, right? I'm gonna make a video on that one. I might make one in a little while, but let's just stick on the main topic today: the heavy loads, the cheap rates, damages to your truck. So you got heavy loads that's going to cause damage, so your cost now is going to go up more than what you're already seeing. A lot of y'all on this dumbness about, the only cost is fuel to operate your truck. What about your tire wear, oil change, all those things there, right? Your tire wear. Knock on wood, I pay attention to the loads that I book on my trucks, right? So I don't book heavy loads on my truck. Heavy loads on your truck decrease or bring forth blowouts. We're in the South. I'm in the South. We're looking at hot asphalt, tire wear, and all that, right? Very few times, and I've said knock on wood again, knock on wood, that I used to have a lot of blowouts. That's back then when I used to have other people dispatching my trucks, and I used to damn near have people in every damn state that I know I have to call. I retain them in my contacts because I'm having blowouts in South Carolina, blowouts in Tennessee, blowouts in Georgia, blowouts in Alabama. And I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Because these dispatchers, man, and that's the thing to you carriers, fleet owners, man. You're gonna hire someone to dispatch your trucks. Make sure you put restrictions on them, man. Don't be making them feel like they're doing something by giving you some fucking C.H. Robinson bullshit. Oh man, I got a load from C.H. Robinson, I got a load from TQL. So you just thinking, okay, as long as you keep the trucks loaded, we good. But not realizing, damn, you got to blow out $500. Yeah, blowout, right? I'm gonna show you how a blowout becomes $500. You get a blowout, boom. Let's say you can't limp to a truck stop, right? So a call out, a tire repair guy is gonna tell you it's $150 call out, minimum of $200, minimum of 2 hours. So 150 call out and a minimum of 2 hours, that means that's $300. Then he's going to bring you a tire. Now, some of them are going to force you to tell you that they don't have no used tires. They're going to force you to buy a new tire. So now you're going to look at every bit of, and depending on the position of the tire, right? Everybody knows stair tires cost. Drive tires cost a lot more. Stair tires is expensive, of course. Of course, your stair tire, you can't go nowhere, so you fucked. Drive tires, you might be able to limp to a truck stop, okay, and beat down and cut down on the road service call, depending on how far this truck stop is. Sometimes you can't limp too far, depending if you got to go across a way station or nothing like that. So you don't want to expose yourself to too much liability. On the trailer tandems, the same thing, depending on the position. If it's on the inside and it's hidden from the outside, then you'll be able to limp to a truck stop. Get on down there, eliminate the road costs. But let's say you on a roadside service, you got a $150 call out fee, a minimum of 2 hours, and they're gonna sell you a used tire. So let's just say the tires is actually, maybe $200 or maybe $250. So you got $300 on the call out, minimum. That's just the call out. Now they gotta charge you for labor too. Some of them really hit you over the head for labor. So that's how a flat tire ends up costing you $500, maybe more. One time, a long time ago, I was driving. I was going up to Jersey. I'm up on 81 on the backside of Virginia up there, right? Those of you know, going to New York or going to Jersey, you could take 95 route, 85, 95, or you go to the mountains, which is the less traffic route, the more efficient route or whatever. Not really mountains, you know what I mean? But 81. Anyway, those of you know trucking, 81. A flat tire cost me $700 one night. $700 one night, and that was years ago when I used to drive long distance, right? From then on, I vowed to myself, I'm saying, from now on, I'm always gonna, I think back then I only had 1 or 2 trailers. I made sure I went and got a welded undercarriage to put a spare tire underneath there or behind the back of my tractor. Man, because I was pissed, hot, and look at my mouth wide open. $700 for that flat tire, and I can remember whatever the rate was going up there, but that $700 I didn't foresee in spending based on me taking that load up there, right? So they had to come out, bring me a tire. They tried to tell me that they didn't have no used tires. They want you to buy a brand new tire, right? A brand new tire, Bridgestone, whatever they're gonna tell you, Goodyear, whatever the brand is. They're gonna tell you all of that, right? So then they're gonna tell you that oh, wait a minute, man. One of my drivers just got empty. Two of them really. Tell him to head this way. I got to pick up around the office for him to go. Hold on, man. I gotta call my driver real quick. Matter of fact, he's calling me on this phone. Yeah, good morning, man. Hey, yeah, I saw your text. You got empty, but yeah, I got a pickup for you right down here by the office. So head down here. I'll formulate the dispatch in a minute and send it to you and stuff. Yeah. Head down here and stuff. Yeah. It's actually maybe about 2 minutes away from the office. So head towards. Yeah. Head towards me. All right. Okay then. Okay. Bye. Yeah, that's one of my which my guys got empty right there, and yeah, flat tires, man, they cost heavy loads. They cost repairs on your trailers and stuff, right? So you guys are not taking those things into consideration and stuff, right? A couple of Fridays ago, my truck was on its way back, and depending on different variables make you make certain decisions, right? So this one lady, she been giving me loads from elsewhere, and then she told me all of a sudden her company have these loads in one of the areas. So I said, all right, let me take a stab at it. And coincidentally and stuff, a few of my drivers know I don't pull heavy loads, but it was a Friday. It was about 100 miles away from the yard, so we had to get back. I don't want to leave money on the table, so of course I'm going to pick up something, right? Go in my trailer. Man, we picked up the load was pretty much 43,000, right? It was paper towel, but that said how it became 43. I think maybe they double stacked the pallets or whatever. Long story short, man, we picked up the load 43. Which is not going to put me over gross or anything like that, even though I have a dry van. With 43,000 pounds on a dry van trailer, which a tractor is grossed out at 32,000 pounds, and with the 43,000 pounds added on to the 32, which is the weight of the truck and trailer. So you're looking like you're legal, So right there, you're at 75,000 pounds, but 20 miles up the road, boom, blowout. He was able to get himself to the truck stop, but guess what the tire cost me, man? Of course, the truck stop now, they think they're slick. They don't want to say used tires, right? They don't want to say used tires, so I had to pay every bit of four something for the tire and the labor and whatever. I don't have the invoice memorized, but the load paid me 500, and they were telling you, oh man, it's only 90 miles, from there to there, and you like, all right, 90 miles, the load's paying me 500. Now I got to spend 400 on a damn blowout. Had I not put a load in my truck, and I don't know what prompted me to go ahead and pull the trigger on this load. I think it was that truck got emptied out later on that day or whatever, and pretty much I had that in hand, but I just kind of gripped my teeth, holding, thinking that, all right, we make it back. And boom, 30, like I said, 20, 30 miles into the ride, coming back to my terminal, got a blowout, $400. The load paid me 500. So my driver pay is not even addressed yet. My fuel cost is not even paid yet. The truck didn't even get paid. The only people who got happy with that was the load ended up getting delivered Monday morning, and the broker, yeah, he got his money because he screwed me. But what about that heavy ass load? I got that flat tire with $400, and the load paid 500. So again, man, stay away from heavy loads. If the load is heavy, the rate got to be heavy. You know what I mean? You got to pick and choose and stuff. We have the power in our hands as far as these loads and stuff, but you guys are falling for that. Oh, it's only 90 miles, it's only 60 miles. I don't give a damn. It takes time and wear and tear, right? Common sense about this. Wear and tear on your truck. Now I gotta go replace, I think a guy told me like 9 cross members. And that happens over a period of time. I bought like about 3 years ago, I bought like 10 dry van trailers. And well, not all at once, but I had some, you know what I mean? And it worked up to that. So yeah, got about, I don't know how many trailers I have right now, but it's a little bit more than 10. So anyway, you're buying dry van trailers, and the people that, obviously the previous owners that had the trailers before me, you're pulling heavy loads, whether it's heavy paper loads or heavy water loads. All those things, the forklifts go in your trailer and enable you to now cross members, right? I have to go buy cross members. Cross members, like I said, the pieces of iron that goes from both ends of the trailer that actually supports the flow. Cross members. Cross members every bit of $40. 9 times 4 is 36. So you're looking at $360 right there. Now the labor cost not knowing that they got to lift up the trailer from the tandem, because that's where the first set of damages really happen on your trailer, y'all. Okay, it starts where the forklift goes in off the dock, boom. Right, those first 10 feet, right, those cross members right there, they're the one that take a brunt of it. The rest of the way, they will go in on your forklift and they will slyly go across and slide the product across the floor. But that first 10 feet of your trailer really takes the blunt of the weight. So again, you dispatchers and stuff, don't fall for the okie doke, man. Stop running cheap ass freight. Stop running this heavy ass freight. Look at this shit right here. They got freight that's gonna go. They're willing to pay $275 and $375. I don't move my truck for nothing less than $400. I don't give a damn. Okay, within a radius of 100 miles, yo, my drive. It takes time. I mean, it's all different costs, you know. And I know I've reiterated that before. The time, you know, my driver is sitting there on the clock is costing me. The time that it's taking these people to load my truck is costing me. Those on the front end. Then it's time to offload the truck. My driver is still sitting there. It's costing me. Offloading the truck is time. So again, your time and your money got to make sense. Okay, not to mention the damage that it's costing. The hidden damages until it's too late. Like today, I didn't foresee that my tandem wasn't going to be able to slide. And when I sent it to one of my trusted trailer repair guys, he told me, hey, yeah, if those cross members don't get repaired ASAP, it's gonna bend the rails and all of that. Again, the cross members got to be reinforced, whatever. So anyway, common sense, people. Common sense, trucking and common sense. All right, the load is heavy, the rate got to be heavy. Stop running cheap ass freight. Those of you who jump in this business don't know what you're doing and stuff. 0 to 60 is only applied to the racetrack, not the game of life and not the game of trucking. Batman out.